everyone, this is Dave with DJ Dave's Mobile's Disc Jockey.
Oh, you guys are so nice. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you being here. The weather is definitely perfect for a virtual wedding show. I'm going to jump right into it because we just have a limited amount of time. I get 20 minutes. I'm going to answer or give you an overview of the services that we offer. If we have time at the end, Hannah will jump back on, and if you want to post some questions, if we have a little bit of time at the end, I'll answer those questions for you. So we're just going to go right into it. Again, my name is Dave Miney, DJ Dave's Mobile Disc Jockey. Thanks for being here. A wedding is a day you don't get back. It's a day you're going to remember the rest of your life. You get one take, and we feel a DJ plays a very vital role in a success of a wedding. And we've been part of just some amazing celebrations over the years. We believe what we do is important. We love what we do. We've gone throughout the Treasure Valley and beyond. That's up at Redfish Lake. And we've been recognized for what we do and our customer satisfaction. We have a great team of DJs, and we want to let you know that if you want to take a closer look at us, you can meet with one of our DJs that would provide service the day of your wedding. And it's a no cost, no obligation consultation to get to know us. To start off, planning is the key to successful celebration. It's better to be proactive than to be reactive. It's better to have a plan in place than no plan at all. So what we do to get to know you and your vision for your day is we give you a login to our website. If you become a client of ours, you log in, you enter your event date and a password, and you have access to our planning tools. And if we're doing the ceremony, we'll ask you some specific questions about the ceremony or the reception. Another cool tool is you have the ability to make requests on our website. You can message us. And so you have that as an initial tool to collaborate with us. For example, with a wedding reception planner, we're going to ask you information about, are you doing a toast? Who's giving the toast? Are you doing a cake cutting? What's your first dance song? Are you doing a father-daughter dance, a mother-son dance? So we'll get that information from you through the website. Another cool tool is you can make a customized playlist of music. So you have full control of the music selection. You can enter an artist or a song, hit search, and you can make 3 distinct lists. The green little button when you want to add a particular song is your cocktail dinner music. The yellow is your dance music. And the red is your do not play playlist. If we don't have the song you're looking for, you can click on custom song, enter the artist and title, we'll go get that song for you. And then we have what is called most requested, where you can find some great songs for your celebration. So you got the website, planning, then leading up to your wedding, we do a final consultation, generally 2 to 4 weeks before your wedding. Your DJ will sit down with you, go through everything. If we're doing the ceremony, we'll talk about the order of events, the music selection, the announcements. We do not charge a traveler setup fee inside of 8 of Canyon counties. And we arrive generally an hour and a half before to set up on our own time. And if we're doing a ceremony, we typically recommend having some prelude music start about 30 minutes before the ceremony begins. So what I would like to do is walk you through a wedding, through photos, and kind of illustrate my services, give you best practices. I'll demonstrate my MC skills of what I would say at certain points. So we'll quickly go through that. We can do just the reception, but we can't do the ceremony. And so some of the things that we'll do for a ceremony is, one, we'll play your prelude music. As the guests arrive, we welcome them, invite them to be seated. If you do have a cell phone, please turn to the vibrate or off position, and we welcome you there. So as the guests arrive and are seated, and as the ceremony begins, typically there's a seating of the moms, and so we'll play it. We can have a special song for just the moms. Generally, the groom seats the moms or ushers, and then you have your processional, which is your bridesmaids, your groomsmen. Usually the groomsmen are escorting the bridesmaids, your ring bearer, your flower girl, sign holders. And then you have a wedding march, and that's a magical moment when you walk in and everybody rises out of their chairs. Your fiance gets to see you walk towards you down the aisle. There's nothing more special than seeing somebody get married on their wedding day, and we get to be a part of that. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to obviously play the music to be the ambiance, but we'll also mic your officiant. One of the biggest complaints about an outdoor wedding is I cannot hear. And so we're going to mic that officiant. We can do a handheld. Generally, we're going to do a lapel mic for most officiants so their hands are free, so that they can look down at their notes or their iPad. Once you're in a ceremony, there can be a variety of activities that occur. You know, there's communion, there's unity sand, someone may read a scripture poem. We have a lot of brides and grooms are now reading vows to each other, so we may provide an extra microphone so your guests can hear you exchange your vows. Then the kiss. Grooms, you got to hold that kiss for good 3 or 4 seconds for some good photos. And then you have your exit song or your receptional. So your officiant will say, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. And then we'll play that exit song. A lot of couples choose an upbeat, fun, you're married, kind of excited times. Some weddings will throw, you can invite the guests to throw petals or flowers at you. So there's a ceremony. We could definitely help you out there. And then we're going to transition to the reception. If we're doing the ceremony, typically we'll keep that music going. We'll have some postlude music in the reception area. We'll transition over to our reception and start the music for the cocktail hour. Just quickly on floor plans. How you lay out your room is really up to you, but we like to be considered in how that is laid out or where we're positioned. This is an example of a problematic layout where we're set up on this side of the room. We're pushing sounds out to these tables where you don't really have good music covered out on the dance floor, and we don't cover this side of the room. So ideally, we'd like to be centered in the room, near the dance floor, preferably no tables directly in front of the speakers to make it uncomfortable for anyone. All our equipment is professional sound and lighting. Here's just a couple of setups we have over at a couple of venues. There's Water's Edge. There's an outdoor reception out in Cuna. We do offer dance floors, so if you need a good surface to dance on, we anticipate that having carpet or grass, a dance floor is a good investment there. We also do some cool things with lighting. If you're having an indoor reception, we can do some uplighting, monograms. There's still water hollow inside there. We shot a monogram across the room. This is an example of uplights. So those are a little bit of decor feature that we do offer. So let's talk about my role, or the role of a DJ. Just 3 distinct roles. We're going to be the DJ that'll play the music. We'll also be that MC host. Every party needs a leader, someone to guide it, someone to facilitate it, help it transition, flow smoothly. So we're really that wedding entertainment director. We'll collaborate with the photographer, the caterer, the bar staff, just make sure everyone's connected and we're all on the same page. So what can you do at a wedding? I'm going to talk about some things that are common at a wedding, the traditions. Some of these ideas may not be you, but we'll talk about each one. One is a grand entrance. We love to introduce brides and grooms in the room. So when you're ready to join that party, we can introduce all your bridesmaids, all your groomsmen leading up to you two, or it could just be you and your fiance. And it's kind of fun. You know, you can choose, you know, what song you use, you know, the Star Wars theme. So it's fun. It's a great way to just have some energy, kick off your reception, have fun, and just bring you into the room. So how do you transition? Well, we use music to transition, announcements to transition. East Coast brides, a lot of times when they're getting married, they will do a grand entrance and they'll move right into, say, a first dance. We're out here in the West, we typically do the first dance to begin our open dancing. So we talk about a little bit of interactivity here. We found that if you involve your guests in your reception, they stay longer, have a more enjoyable time. So we're going to talk about some of these things you potentially could do at your wedding. We've seen at other weddings. One is involve your guests in photographing your wedding, using social media and using a hashtag and posting those online for friends and family to see later on. We do wedding trivia where we get some questions about you answered, and then we use that to release people into the buffet line. I'm going to use a kind of a bride and groom's name throughout this presentation. I'm going to use Steve and Jennifer. And let's say we're at the dinner time and say, you know, dinner's ready. We invite Steve and Jennifer to lead us through the buffet line, followed by the wedding party and parents. We're going to test your knowledge, see how well you know them, If your table gets a correct answer, you get to go through the buffet line next. All right, here's our first question. What city and state was Jennifer born in? And so you can just have fun with your guests, you know, see what they know and help release tables into the buffet line. We've done Pearls of Wisdom, where we invite guests at each table to write some advice for the bride and groom. Sometimes we'll say it's got to be G or PG rated. We're going to read a few of them out loud. We've done future anniversary cards, where we put a card and pen on the table. And I just ask the audience, what's going to happen 365 days from today? And somebody will say it's their anniversary. Let's get started on filling out a future anniversary card, so you can get some ideas and get some things there, feedback from your guests of their thoughts about your wedding. The shoe game, just a fun interactivity. This may not be for you, but it's a great way just to have fun with your guests. And generally I'd like to do it at the end of dinner when everybody's still sitting down and you got their attention. And ladies and gentlemen, for your wedding reception entertainment, we have Steve and Jennifer Roberts. And so you kick off your shoes. You have one shoe in your hand, your shoe, and then your spouse is in the other. And then we ask you some questions. All right, we're going to get to know them. They're going to raise the shoe of the person they think is the best response. Okay, out of you two, who made the first move? So you raise your shoe or you raise your spouse's shoe. Who said I love you first? Who's a better dancer? Who's going to clean the toilets? Who spends more time on social media? So you just have fun. There's no wrong answer. And usually the last question, as I say, and finally, who do you love more than anyone else in the whole wide world? And you get that ah. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Roberts. So that's something you can consider. Some of these ideas are optional. Definitely, it may not be for you. Usually at the end of dinner, we transition to the toast. And so we invite everyone to refill their glasses, coming up in a few minutes to the toast. And so on our agenda, we'll identify those individuals that are designated to give the toast. We have a wireless mic. We do an introduction of each one. And then usually when they're done and they say, okay, everyone, please raise your glasses to Mr. and Mrs. Roberts, we'll bring up music. So there's no dead air, silence, or pauses. We help transition from one person to the other. I love toasts because they can be very poignant. They can be very fun. This is where it gets really personal. I love to see the reactions of the couples when they hear what their best man or maid of honor or parents say at the toast. Cake cutting. This is a long-standing tradition. A wedding's full of many traditions. You know, a bride's supposed to wear something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. The cake cutting is a tradition that goes back a long time. Instead of just saying, you know, Steve and Jennifer will now cut their wedding cake, we tell the audience the purpose behind it. So I want to demonstrate my MC skills here and share that with you. Steve and Jennifer will now participate in a wedding tradition that goes back to the 1800s. When Steve and Jennifer put their hands on the knife together, it symbolizes unity. When Steve takes a piece of cake and feeds it to Jennifer, it symbolizes I'll provide for you. When Jennifer takes a piece of cake and feeds it to Steve, it symbolizes I will nurture you or nurture our relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up right now, the cake cutting. So it's an old tradition. It's a symbolic gesture. When I present to brides, I show them this photo and I say, you know, 99 of 100 brides do not want to have this happen on their wedding day. So definitely have an open conversation about how you want this to transpire. I've seen some upset brides over the years. Bouquet toss, you know,
Hey,
inviting
Dave,
all the single ladies.
You have
Yes.
about 5 more minutes, but there's no questions at the time, so feel free to take your time. And I'll let you know when you have a minute left.
Perfect. Perfect. So again, some other traditions, bouquet, garter toss. We help facilitate those, invite the single ladies, invite the single guys out. You know, sometimes we do the bouquet, sometimes we don't do the garter. It's really up to you how you want to do it. Some personalize it, wrap it around a football, throw the football. Get a photo with those who caught it to help remember that. Now the first dance. We're ready to start our dancing. A lot of couples will start their first dance at the beginning of open dancing. And this can be a magical moment. And we can tell your love story, how you met, how you fell in love, how he proposed to you. And that day led to this day, celebrating their first dance together as a brand new married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Steve and Jennifer Roberts. And some other traditions, father-daughter dance. These can be very powerful moments. at a wedding. You can invite others to join in. We like to invite all fathers and daughters, or all mothers and sons, to join in to make it more interactive. Anniversary dance. Let's find out who's been married the longest. If you've been married less than 5 hours, you have to leave the dance floor. And then we go 1 year, 5, 10, 15, 20. Till we get to the couple that's been married the longest. And your names and how long you've been married, and how do you know the bride and groom, and what advice would you give them? So you can definitely do some things to make it fun, make it interactive. And then we're ready to dance. And a lot of people realize dance is a great social activity, create that atmosphere where people feel comfortable. We invite them out to the dance floor, celebrate, give them permission to have a good time. We do all the interactives, the cha-cha slide, the Cupid shuffle, any special dances you want to see happen, we can make that happen for you. And we love to see the emotion, fun out on the dance floor. So a party has to end, unfortunately. So here's the theory. A party should end when it shouldn't. So the recommendation, end that party on a high note. And one of the things we recommend is do a final dance. As we end this beautiful evening with Steve and Jennifer, we'd like to invite you to the dance floor. And so that song could be very romantic, slow. It can be very interactive. We love to invite all the guests to make a big circle around you and say one final time, June 13th, 2020, Steve and Jennifer Roberts. And that could be your final scene of your blockbuster movie. Some couples will go one step further and do a grand send-off where we invite everyone to line up outside. If it's late in the evening, it's dark, you can do glow sticks. You can do sparklers. This is out in front of Bronco Stadium, so you got to get permission from your venue. Not all venues allow sparklers. So it's a great way to cap off the evening. Wonderful celebration, send guests home remembering what a wonderful time they had. So hopefully in that short amount of time, Hannah, I know I'm up, hopefully you get an idea of what we do, and hopefully you're seeing the value, that we will be active participants in celebrating your big day. And this is our 10-point pledge, is the things we promise to do if you end up utilizing our services. And then finally, if you end up wanting to book us, we have a simple process of an agreement letter, a retaining fee, and we would love to send you information to learn more about our services. So please contact us with packages and pricing. We do free, no obligation consultations. So if you just want to kick the tires, see if we're the right fit, we'd love to meet with you. So thank you, Hannah. Thank you, virtual wedding show attendees. Thank you for coming on board and let me share a little bit of information. Is there any questions, Hannah?
There is none. And thank you so much for attending with us.
You bet. All right.
Alrighty. Take care. Thank you.
You bet. We'll see you.